This is a clip of a yoga mat push with Barney and our assistant trainer, Corbin. All right, so we're going to start out. The trainer is Mara, and the child has a handful of treats. And so it's great if the child helps roll this up. What we're going to do is, as the mat is being rolled, you'll see treats being put in there, right in the mat. So there's a treat. They're going to roll it up. Then Corbin's going to help out, and he's going to put another treat right there. All right, our little helper in his Spider-Man shoes is going to make sure that mat isn't going to roll out. And as they roll it up, we're going to have a series of treats planted in there. So those are going to be for the dog to automatically get as he's rolling out the mat. All right, this is a great way to have children focus and become part of the process instead of you just doing it. Then the child is helping. They're getting a lot of motor skills, and they're figuring out what's going on right here. All right, so first we have mat preparation with the treat. So in this way, the trainer's not going to have to reach into their pocket to give a treat every time the dog rolls the mat. The dog will automatically get these as the mat continues to roll out. All right, so mat is rolled up, the treats are in place. Mara is going to go over, and we're going to have our dog come on out. All right, so Corbin's going to give a cue, and of course the dog smells and sees, and as you see, whenever he pushes it, boom, there are those hidden treats. So he continues to push that mat out. We have a happy tail going on. Dog likes this behavior, and so the dog is automatically reinforced several times as he's rolling the mat out. The end behavior is that the dog rolls the mat out and lays down on it. They already know a go to bed. They're already very familiar with what a mat means, and that means that the dog should go and put their belly on the mat. They're going to roll this up again, but you'll see there's far less treats, if any, because our buddy Corbin thinks the dog is fully capable of doing this without those treats. Of course, he'll have a party at the end. The trainer's holding the dog back for a moment, and you can see several pushes. He's looking for his treats, looking for his treats. And there you go. He's going to get him afterwards. So this is a more complete behavior with a very happy Corbin, a very happy Barney. And there he puts his belly on the ground. Nice job from our assistant trainer.
As many as you want. He did a really good job.
I'll give you some food.
Yes. He did so good. So going back to that previous question about how long it takes to deliver the treat, you could see that the dog was anticipating the treat. So he was fine with his wagging tail, looking at the child, waiting for his treat, because he knew it was coming. So it was not a problem that it took a couple extra minutes to get to his mouth.
Yeah, that was perfect. And in this case too, people have asked about whether to wait or stay or things. And I saw obviously that the dog was just in its kennel.
Mm-hmm.
And it's great while you guys set up, at least for the first while. So then you were able to, once the dog came out, automatically start that.
Yeah, so he wasn't going to interrupt because he was very excited to do this behavior. So.
We had such a great assistant trainer in Corbin, so he definitely stole the show.
And on a side note for that behavior, which is really fun, we have another dog that, and you guys can use this in your offices. He sleeps on his yoga mat in the office, and then he takes his yoga mat down. It's a firehouse dog, and goes down to the gym, unrolls his mat, lies on his yoga mat, and then takes his yoga mat back to the office, unrolls it, and goes to sleep. So it's kind of a fun thing. You could have the dog carry the mat to wherever you need them to be and unroll it. And because they have the installed go to bed, which everyone has practiced and all these dogs know really well, as soon as that mat is down, that dog is going to lie down. So you can take that part out of the training.
That's wonderful. And if any of you do this, if any of you train it, send it in to us, because we would like to see how and where you are using these fun games. Yeah.
Yeah. It says, I noticed that Mara was marking while the kid was treating, and should a similar method be used when younger kids are training with the dogs? Just so the marking is on time.
I think the marking is important, you know, because it does keep it really clear, the criteria clear for the dog, so that they know what behavior they're being rewarded for. And because children can be a little wiggly and all over the place and not necessarily paying the most attention, I think it's helpful to have an adult or have the handler be able to mark the behavior for the dog. And then you can have the child reinforce. And it also solidifies the relationship between the dog and the child because they're getting the reinforcer from the child. So that relationship then grows stronger as well.
I think that was perfect answer. I agree that the trainer should do the marking and then the child does the reinforcing. It's hard for the child to know what it is. They don't understand the concept of marking and timing and things. So to keep that behavior strong, trainer does the marking, child does the reinforcing.
And then did you have any difficulties with the dogs trying to lay down before they unroll the mat?
No, we actually didn't. They were really excited to unroll the mat.
This is one of our favorite behaviors, and I think that the dogs really love learning it, and it's fun to get different dogs out and see how they do it and learn it. And so yeah, a lot of times we will do just like Mara used a down while she got the ball prepared. Then you can add in that down. You can even reinforce the down, and then you can release the dog to go do this new push behavior. And that brings back the point of whether it was the ball or whether it's a door or whether it was the mat, you are still going to use the same cue. Is that correct?
Right, because the push is the nose pushing an object forward. So it doesn't matter whether it's unrolling, pushing a door closed, or pushing a ball forward.
Right.
It's
So you
all
don't
the
have a
same
different
behavior.
cue for a mat and a ball and a crosswalk button and anything like that. It's all the same cue. Perfect. Good. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to move on to our next segment. We sure hope you guys are enjoying these, and we really appreciate the questions and helping us out with that. It's nice.